So there's a spawn up on that glass there. Clementine seems to be protecting it. You can see there's some blue ones in here and there are some little dark ones coming through. These guys are quite a sought after fish in my area, and there's something that I really do want to try and produce a lot of. Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to Keeping Fish Simple. So in today's video, we're going to be doing an update on the fish room. In specific, we're going to be looking at just some of the things that I've been working on in the times that I haven't been making videos. And I've been working on all this stuff since I've last shown you guys some of the projects that I was working on. So I'm going to give you guys updates on those things. We're not going to do like a full fish room update because we'd be here for too long. There will be a video of that coming out very, very shortly, so stay tuned for that. But today I'm just going to take you around the fish room with my iPhone and show you guys some of the really cool stuff that's been going on in here, because I really like doing these little update videos and just, you know, updating you guys on what's on the website now and some of the things I'm planning to work on and some of the videos you can expect, and just, you know, showing you guys the updates of the things that I was showing you in previous videos. So I guess that's enough talking. Without any further ado, let's flip around the camera and have a look at these fish. Okay, so I guess we'll start off the video by talking about the Discus, because I have been focusing on the Discus quite a bit. So we're going to take this towel away because I just use this as a little bit of a barricade. But we'll come and have a look in this tank, and in this tank you can see we've reunited Lemon and Clementine, who are my Flora snakeskin pair of Discus. And if you have a look in here, these guys have just today had a spawn. So there's a spawn up on that glass there. Clementine seems to be protecting it, and Lemon actually seems to be doing a good job today. In the past couple of spawns that we've had, he's been a little bit aggressive towards Clementine, and I think that's just normal for a bit of a young pair. You can see they were bickering a little bit and there's a mark on her now. In this spawn, he seems to have toned down a little bit, and it actually appears to be quite a big spawn. So we'll see how they go with this one. But yeah, I've been focusing on getting these guys breeding properly. I've been, you know, making sure they don't get flukes and doing a lot of PP treatments to make sure that that doesn't become a problem. I've been doing daily water changes in here and using reverse osmosis water, so pure water, and I've really just dialed these guys in. They've just been doing a really good job producing a lot of Discus. So they've laid these eggs today, and they just finished up on this last batch, which you guys probably haven't seen, and up the back here is their most recent batch, so you can see there's some runts in there, but there's also some really high quality, really nice young fry in here. So there's probably about 50 of these guys in here, and this is their second batch. So these guys are doing really well in here. They're all eating baby brine shrimp, and they've just started to take some of that beef heart mix, so that's really cool to see. But if we come over here to this tank, you'll see our oldest batch of Flora snakeskins, and they're over here. So there are a few in here that are still going to be some culls, but these guys are doing pretty well. You know, they're putting on a lot of size. There's some really fantastic looking ones that you can see coming through. So that one on the right there is a really nice looking one, but then there's some culls here. That's a nice looking one there. That one, we'll see how they go, but they do get really pedantic when I come in the room. They start to breathe a little bit more heavy, and they are a little bit more of a skittish fish. So I have added some of these logs down here and some of these almond leaves as well to get the pH dialed in properly. And yeah, they've just been really enjoying this aquarium, but they're growing really well. I haven't had any losses for quite a long time now, so I'm expecting to get most of these guys up to sale. And they will be available on the website probably within the next 2 months, so you guys will be able to pick up some of these. But that's pretty much what I've been working on with these Discus. That's Lemon and Clementine's production. But as you guys would know, I do have this other pair of Discus with this eruption female and this tiger turquoise male, and they haven't bred for me for a little bit, so about 2 months at this point, and I'm wondering whether I'm just going to try and probably move this pair on, and I might use this tank for some ram breeding, and I'm going to grow out a few more different types of Discus, maybe some, you know, blue diamonds and some nice red melons to hopefully breed in the future. In the last video too, I showed you guys that I was starting to have some success with the rams, and you can see in here we have our first batch of blue-black rams. So you can see there's some blue ones in here, and there are some little dark ones coming through. These are the first batch that I've got in the fish room that are my own production. And I'm not too sure how many there are in here, but they have been growing really well. They've started to eat some of that beef heart mix. You can see some of them are going dark, and some of them are going to obviously be blue. So they've probably got about a month until they're ready to be sold. They do grow quite quick, these little guys, so that's really cool. I've also, in this breeder box, got another small batch of these guys in here as well. So it's nice to have some of these coming through. I am currently working on trying to get more of these in the fish room. I really want to make this process easy to produce a lot of these guys, because, you know, I sell tons of them to wholesalers, and there's a really big demand for these rams in my area. So if I could produce some more of these, it'd be great. But I have been leaving them in with the parents, and the parents have been doing a pretty good job I'm still training a lot of my pairs to not eat their babies, and it is taking a little bit of time, but I'm sure within time they're going to figure it out and we're going to have tons of rams in the fish room. So those are all the baby rams that we have in the fish room. I do currently have a few pairs going, so I've got some blue blacks and I also have some, midnights, and I'm currently in the process of still painting all these aquariums to look like this so that they don't stress out as much and they can't see each other through the aquariums, and it just makes them feel a little bit more secure. So this pair of rams has successfully raised some fry, but I don't think there was enough infusoria in the tank and they weren't successful at getting the fry up to juvenile stage, so that's a bit annoying, but I'm sure that most of these rams will figure it out. They've had like 2 or 3 attempts at this point, and if at 5 attempts they're not having any success, I might have to figure out another method, but I think it's going to work because this pair of rams up here has been very productive and have done a really good job with their previous batches as well. I'm also not 100% sure, but I am breeding these blue rams in here, and this male I think has some wrigglers below him, so in that little crevice of a cracked pot, I think he does have some wrigglers in there, but I haven't been able to see. Him and his beautiful blue female have been trying to protect that pot, so I did see them with eggs a couple of days ago, and I think they moved the spawn into that pot, so hopefully these guys do a good job at raising their fry. And something I've been having a lot of success with in the past couple of months is the production of these beautiful peppermint bristlenose. Now these guys are an ancestris and they're a little bit rare in my area. You'll find them at most pet shops, but they are going to cost a little bit more. And they've been really just pumping out tons of fry for me. So you can see there's a nice batch in this tank. We also just have a brand new batch in here. There's quite a lot in here, and if you guys come over to the other side of the fish room to my breeding tanks, you'll see that in this tank, in this cave especially, that male's actually on some wrigglers in there as well. So I've been working really hard on trying to produce a lot of these guys. I've got 2 tanks, so I've got this colony here, and then I've got another colony in here, and they've both been producing. I think I'm going to actually take some of these guys out of this tank. You guys can see me here. I think I'm going to take some of these guys out of this tank because there's quite a few in here, and move them to another tank, so I'll have 3 tanks, or 3 colonies at least, and try and really see if I can get the most production I can out of these guys during the summer. But yeah, these have been a tremendous success for me in the past couple of months, and I'm not planning on stopping breeding these guys anytime soon. I do have about 20 to 30 growing out at this point that I will be using for future breed stock in the next couple of years. So yeah, I've got big plans for these peppermints. I do think that in the next facility I will be producing a ton of these guys. But yeah, these peppermint bristlenose have been really, really fun to breed. I'm going to give you guys a quick update on these Apistogramma gold fires that I've got. Now, I have had success breeding them, and I've tried a few different ways of raising these guys up. Now, raising these guys up has been a little bit more tricky than other Apistogrammas that I've had in the past. And in this tank we've got 2 pairs, so we've got this female here, then there's, obviously another female and 2 males in here. And they have laid eggs twice, that at least I know of, but they have been eaten both times. And I think it's just because this tank has too many pairs in it. So what I'm actually going to do is leave a pair in each tank, and the next time they breed I'm going to take out the male and see whether that makes a difference and makes the female focus on actually raising her fry up, because these are a beautiful fish. They're quite expensive in my area, and I spent quite a bit of money on trying to get these guys. So if I can get some spawning out of them, that'd be terrific. Well, not even just some spawning, some successful rearing of the fry, that'd be magnificent. So something else that I'd like to work on that I haven't been putting a lot of effort into is the production of these beautiful celestial pearl Danios. These guys are quite a sought after fish in my area, and they're something that I really do want to try and produce a lot of. I've been talking to a couple of my subscribers that do make a lot of these guys, and I do think that I need to put a little bit more effort into making some more of these, because I really just haven't ironed out a process of trying to do it. I just bought these guys, I bred them, I've probably made about 25 of them, and I haven't put a lot of effort into trying to make a ton of them. Now, I'm guessing that in the next couple of videos I will start to produce a lot of these, and I'll be making videos on the way that I'm doing it and working through some of the ways I'm trying to develop workflows to produce these fish. Because one thing that I find with a lot of fish is that you need to iron out some kind of process and workflow of making that fish, and not everyone's going to have the same one, so you have to really work on it yourself and try a bunch of different things until you have like a successful method for breeding something. So we will be working on that in the next couple of videos, or in upcoming videos at least. But yeah, these celestial pearl Danios would be a great one to produce in the fish room in the next couple of weeks. I also do have a lot of these beautiful gold marble pearl scout angelfish, and these guys are the only angelfish that I am producing in the fish room. As you guys would know, I used to produce a ton of these, and it just turned out to not be really viable for this room at least, because I don't have sufficient grow out space for a lot of pairs in this room, and at the moment I'm really only able to grow out 1 pair. and at the moment I'm really only able to grow out the amount from one pair. So these guys are the only angels that I have at the moment. And that also brings me to something else that I've been wanting to talk about on this channel for a bit, is that I guess something that I didn't realize heading into this business and, you know, producing fish and breeding fish for profit is you really do have to make sure you don't have too many things going at once. And all the projects that I showed you just now are basically the things that I have been focusing on recently. And I'm obviously going to breed a ton of plecos, and I have tons of plecos growing out, as you'd see over on this side of the fish room. Like I've got all my L134s and 201s and stuff. But at the moment, I am kind of in the process of getting rid of a few species just to focus on other ones. For instance, I probably am going to get rid of my black Venezuelan cories, and I'm probably going to get rid of my Trilineatus, and probably only going to breed Similis and Panda cories, and hopefully gold laser cories when I finally figure those guys out. But yeah, I just wanted to take a moment to show you guys that, you know, part of the process of breeding fish is deciding what you want to breed and making sure you don't have too many things going at once, so you can actually narrow down and breed the things that you want to breed that are actually going to make you some money. So these are all the fish that I'm going to be producing at the moment and that I'm going to be focusing on. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys found it, you know, cool, and maybe you learned something. Or if you didn't learn anything, at least you found it maybe, you know, enjoyable to watch. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.